Were the sexual assault allegations against Eddy Curry actually true? Well, yeah, and that was just the beginning. Things got even messier with claims of unpaid wages, racial slurs, and to top it all off, he even got hit for breaking his lease agreement. It was a full-on storm of controversy that just kept piling up. Let's rewind to January 12th, 2009. That's when things really started to spiral for Eddy Curry. On that day, his former chauffeur, David Kuczynski, hit him with a shocking lawsuit. According to Kuczynski, Curry didn't just underpay him, he also subjected him to some seriously disturbing behavior. In the court documents, Kuczynski claimed that Curry had approached him more than once completely naked, saying things like, "Look at me, Dave, look!" And even more disturbingly, "Come and touch it, Dave." But it didn't stop there. Kuczynski also accused Curry of using racial slurs toward him and creating a hostile work environment. On top of that, he claimed Curry owed him around $68,000 in unpaid wages, plus another $25,000 for expenses that were never reimbursed. According to Kuczynski, these expenses included hotel bills, club tabs, and cell phones that Curry had asked him to buy as gifts. So not only was the lawsuit full of troubling accusations, it also painted a picture of financial recklessness and personal misconduct. Curry's legal team didn't hold back either. His lawyer, Kelly A. Sandin, called the claims flat-out preposterous and labeled the whole thing an attempt at extortion. Despite all the media buzz, the case never went to trial. On May 28, 2009, federal judge Denise Cote dismissed the lawsuit and ordered the matter into arbitration instead. That move quieted things down a bit, but the damage to Curry's reputation was already done. And while all this legal drama was playing out, Curry's financial life was also starting to crumble. Just a month after the lawsuit was moved to arbitration, reports came out that Curry's mansion in the Chicago suburbs was in foreclosure. He had taken out a nearly $4 million mortgage back in 2006, and by mid-2009, he had fallen behind by almost $220,000. His monthly payments? Over $25,000. It was clear that whatever money he was making in the NBA wasn't being handled wisely. Fast forward to June 2021, and things still hadn't turned around. Curry was evicted from a property in Katy, Texas, after violating his lease agreement. The exact reasons weren't made public, but getting kicked out of a rental home more than a decade after earning millions in the league added yet another layer to his long list of personal and financial troubles. Now let's move on and take a closer look at how his basketball career unfolded. Eddy Curry was a big deal coming out of high school, literally and figuratively. Standing over 7 feet tall with soft hands and solid footwork, he was one of those rare centers who looked NBA ready straight out of the gate. He had originally signed a letter of intent to play college ball at DePaul University in Chicago, but before ever stepping on campus, Curry decided to go straight to the pros. And in 2001, he officially entered the NBA draft. That decision paid off fast. The Chicago Bulls picked him 4th overall in the 2001 draft, bringing the hometown kid into the spotlight. But as exciting as that was, his rookie season didn't exactly blow anyone away. Curry didn't get much playing time that year, and his impact was pretty limited. Still, the Bulls were patient. They knew he was young, raw, and still adjusting to the speed and physicality of the league. By his second year, though, Curry started showing real signs of progress. He led the entire NBA in field goal percentage, shooting an impressive 58.5% from the floor. That stat might not sound flashy, but it was a big deal. Curry became the first Bulls player to lead the league in a major statistical category since Michael Jordan had done it back in 1998. People started thinking maybe this kid really was the future of the franchise. Then came the 2004 to 2005 season, a turning point not just for Curry, but for the Bulls as a team. The franchise, which had been struggling for years after the Jordan era, suddenly bounced back, winning 28 more games than the season before and making the playoffs. Curry, just 22 years old at the time, led the team in scoring and seemed to be coming into his own. But just when things were looking up, disaster struck. Curry was hospitalized with an irregular heartbeat, a scary and mysterious health issue that caused him to miss the last 13 games of the regular season and the entire playoff run. Despite the setback, heart specialists cleared Curry to return to basketball by June 2005. But the Bulls were cautious. They wanted him to take a DNA test to see if his heart condition was genetic. Curry refused, citing privacy concerns, and just like that, he was out. On October 3, 2005, the Bulls traded him to the New York Knicks. The deal included a few players on both sides and some future draft picks that would eventually haunt the Knicks when they had one of the worst seasons in the league. Curry's time in New York was rocky from the start. In his first year with the Knicks, his numbers dipped. He averaged 13.6 points and 6.0 rebounds. Decent, but far from what fans were hoping for. His effort on defense and rebounding became a major point of criticism. Former Bulls coach Scott Skiles, who once tried to push Curry into becoming a better rebounder, famously told reporters that all Curry needed to do was jump. But then, under new head coach Isaiah Thomas in the 2006-07 season, things started to look better. Thomas made Curry the focal point of the offense, and the big man responded with the best numbers of his career. He averaged 19.6 points, 7.1 rebounds, and nearly 35 minutes per game. On April 7, 2007, he even dropped a career-high 43 points in an overtime win against the Milwaukee Bucks, hitting a rare three-pointer to send the game into OT. Fun fact, Curry actually went 2 for 2 from three-point range in his entire NBA career. That's a perfect 100%, even if it's only 2 shots. Unfortunately, that momentum didn't last. In the 2007-08 season, Curry was expected to form a powerhouse frontcourt alongside newly acquired Zach Randolph. But instead of dominating, both players saw a drop in their performance. Things really went downhill in 2008 when Curry showed up to training camp badly out of shape for the second year in a row. That didn't sit well with new head coach Mike D'Antoni, who quickly pulled Curry out of the starting lineup. In fact, Curry was so far out of favor that he wasn't even part of the rotation. To make matters worse, he battled a sore right knee that limited his availability even more. He didn't play his first game of the 2008-09 season until January 8, 2009, and only ended up appearing in 3 games that year. During the offseason, Curry tried to turn things around by working with a personal trainer and focusing on weight loss. By mid-July, he had reportedly dropped about 30 pounds, but his trainer warned everyone not to expect miracles. It would be delusional, he said, to think Curry could get down to his listed playing weight of 285 pounds. Then came the blockbuster trade in February 2011. The Knicks shipped Curry off to the Minnesota Timberwolves as part of a 3-way deal that brought Carmelo Anthony to New York. But Curry never even suited up for the Timberwolves. His contract was bought out just days later, and he became a free agent once again. That could have been the end, but Curry wasn't ready to walk away. In December 2011, he signed a 1-year deal with the Miami Heat. Fans were surprised to see him back, and even more surprised when he stepped on the court on January 19, 2012, looking slimmer and more focused than ever. It was his first NBA appearance since 2009. He played 6 minutes against the Lakers and scored 6 points. Nothing major, but still a sign of progress. He was part of the Heat's 2011 to 2012 championship team, though he only appeared in 14 games and didn't play during the finals. Still, he earned a ring, which many saw as a small redemption after years of struggle. In October 2012, Curry signed with the San Antonio Spurs, but was waived before the regular season began. Days later, the Dallas Mavericks picked him up. He played just 2 games for Dallas before being let go again, this time to make room for a player who could shoot from outside. His final NBA game came on October 31, 2012, against the Utah Jazz. He scored just 2 points in 8 minutes, and that was it. His NBA career quietly ended that night. But Curry wasn't done with basketball just yet. In December 2012, he went overseas and signed with the Zhejiang Golden Bulls in China. Unlike his later NBA years, Curry thrived in China, averaging 23 points and 10 rebounds across 29 games. His run there ended in February 2013 after a stomach illness kept him out of the playoffs. Years later, in 2018, Curry gave it one last go by joining the Zhuhai Wolf Warriors in the ASEAN Basketball League. He played for part of the 2018-19 season, but was released in January 2019. And that wraps up today's video. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss out on future updates.